Tresco is the second biggest island of the Isles of Scilly in Cornwall, England. It is 297 hectares in size, measuring about 3.5 kilometres by 1.75 kilometres. History: in early times one group of islands was in the possession of a confederacy of hermits. King Henry I gave it to Tavistock Abbey, which established a priory on Tresco. It was abolished during the dissolution of the monasteries. The priory was given the care of souls in the secular islands by the Lord of the Fief. In 1233, a prior here, known as Alan of Cornwall, was made abbot of Tavistock. The original name for the island was the Cornish, Rhin Tuan, meaning promontory of sand dunes. In 1193, when the island was granted to the abbot of Tavistock by Pope Celestine III, the island was known as St. Nicholas's Island, and by 1305 it is called Tresco. By 1540 this has changed to Iniscore. The island was named as Tresco in an 1814 publication. The island is administered for the Crown by the Duchy of Cornwall and is leased to the Dorian Smith estate, which runs it as a timeshare business. The Dorian Smith family held a position of Lord Proprietors of the Scilly Islands between 1834 and 1920. From 2001 until 2009, the island hosted a marathon run organised in aid of cystic fibrosis. The course consists of 7.5 laps around the island. The event is always held on the same day as the London Marathon. Past winners include Dara Okayani and Bob Brown. In 2007 a rebuild of the Abbey Farm shed area was completed. This area served as RNAS Tresco, a seaplane base during the First World War. The development included rental cottages, a swimming pool, a health centre and the Flying Boat Club restaurant. Geography: a variety of scenery is found on the island, including rugged granite outcrops, heathland of the exposed north coast and mainly shell beaches in the east and south. The variety of his scenery and geomorphology is partly a result of the last ice age, where the Devonsian ice sheet clipped the north side of the island, leaving deformation till deposits. The main settlements are New Grimsby and Old Grimsby in the central part of the island. Combined, their facilities include a convenience store, an art gallery, a pub, and 2 café copyright/restaurants, all of which are owned and run by the Tresco estate. At the south of the island can be found the subtropical Tresco Abbey Gardens, including the Valhalla Figurehead Collection, and Tresco Heliport. To the north of New Grimsby are King Charles's Castle and Cromwell's Castle. Demography: these figures constitute permanent residents only. A large number of seasonal staff also reside on the island during the summer period. Economy: the character of Tresco varies from that of the other islands in the Scilly archipelago, as it is primarily run as a holiday resort, with virtually all activity and employment being tourist-related. This contrasts with the other islands where tourism is important, but does not dominate to the same extent. Landmarks: English Civil War: King Charles's Castle dates from 1550–54, and was occupied by the Royalists during the English Civil War. It was later partially demolished to provide the building materials for Cromwell's Castle. A coastal tower known as Cromwell's Castle was built 1651–52 with gun platform added circa 1740 by Abraham Tovey, master gunner. The old blockhouse gun tower protecting Old Grimsby Harbour, vigorously defended during the Civil War. It was probably built between 1548 and 1552. Oliver's Battery, in the south of the island, by the Carn near Quay, erected shortly after the capture of Tresco by parliamentary forces in the English Civil War. It was built by Admiral Robert Blake. Other landmarks: monument to Augustus Smith above Apple Tree Bay on the southwest of the island. Arch from the wall of the medieval monastery in Tresco Abbey Gardens. Anglican Church, see St. Nicholas Church, Tresco. Transport: Tresco is a car-free island. Farm tractors with passenger trailers are used to transport overnight visitors to and from Tresco Heliport and from the various quays, and a few golf carts are available for disabled visitors. From 1983 to October 2012, British International Helicopters operated from Tresco Heliport, providing a year-round helicopter service to Penzance Heliport. Tresco boat services run passenger boat services to and from the other inhabited islands, as well as occasional circular sightseeing tours. Wildlife and ecology. Tresco is unique amongst the off-islands in that its habitat ranges from a wind-swept northern plateau with wave teeth to sheltered bulb fields, wetland and lakes, to beautiful beaches backed by a sand dune system on the south coast. Subsequently, the forerunner of Natural England designated 3 sites of special scientific interest in 1971 and 1976. They are the Castle Down SSSI, Great Pool SSSI and Pentle Bay, Merrick and Round Islands SSSI. Castle Down is a SSSI for its waved maritime heath, its lichen flora, a breeding colony of common tern, and for its geology. Great Pool is a SSSI because it is the largest area of fresh water in the islands and important for its breeding birds, and as a sheltering and feeding area for migrants. Pentle Bay is designated for the transition from a flora-rich sand dune system to lichen rich heath. In October 2012, 4 male and 1 female red squirrel, on permanent loan from the British Wildlife Centre, was transported to Tresco by helicopter. Only 2 survived, and in September 2013 a further 20 were transported to Tresco and released in Abbey Woods, near the Abbey Gardens. Tresco is considered to be a Eurocubed safe haven Eurocubed for the endangered mammal, as it is free from predators such as foxes, and is free from grey squirrel and the squirrel pox they carry. In June 2014, an unknown number of baby squirrels have been pictured in the Abbey Gardens, proving the squirrels are successfully breeding. Vagrant birds. Among the many vagrant birds which have been found here, the following were firsts for Britain. Common nighthawk collected on September 17, 1927. Western sandpiper, originally identified as a semipalmated sandpiper, 1969. Cultural references. Because of its geography and history, Tresco has often featured in fiction. Most notably in the books of author Sam Llewellyn, a direct descendant of Augustus Smith who, after his appointment as Lord Proprietor of the Scillys in 1834 and living on the island, began to create the Abbey Gardens on land which surrounded the old priory. Flora Castledin, lead character of the George E. Gale novel Tread Softly, was born and brought up on the Isles of Scilly. Tresco is mentioned several times. While the Whales Came by Michael Morpurgo is set in the Isles of Scilly and features Tresco several times. Hell Bay, by Sam Llewellyn, is set on Tresco and fictionalizes the events leading up to Augustus Smith taking ownership of the island. The Sea Garden, also by Sam Llewellyn, is set on a fictional island based heavily on Tresco. It features a stunning sea garden much like the Tresco Abbey Gardens, and the history of the fictional island draws heavily from the real history of the island. Storm Islands, by Anne Quinton, is a mystery novel set on Tresco and in the Isles of Scilly. Filmography. In the 1989 BBC adaptation of The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, the scenes on the fictional Lone Islands were filmed on Tresco, with the on-ship scenes being filmed on a ship on the surrounding sea. Tresco is the setting for the 2010 film Archipelago, directed by Joanna Hogg and starring Tom Hiddleston. It premiered at the 2010 London Film Festival, and was released on March 4, 2011 in the UK and Ireland. In the early 1980s, Tresco was used by the group Blondie for the location of filming the video to the song Island of Lost Souls. See also, listed buildings in Tresco, Isles of Scilly, list of shipwrecks of the Isles of Scilly. References. External links, An Illustrated History of Tresco from the Bronze Age to the Present, The Last Peace of England,